Let's press some buttons and add custom keybinds to our Minecraft mod. If you want to go deeper, the 26.x modding courses are linked down below. 30 plus hours covering complex block entities with fluid and energy handling, custom mobs, custom networking, and even custom biomes and dimensions. Everything you need for 26.x, all in one place, linked down below in the description. Alright, my friends, back to tell you more, and in this tutorial we'll be adding custom keybinds, or as they're called in the game, key mappings, to our Minecraft mod. You'll find this is way more straightforward than you might think. However, of course, as always, there's one or two things that are quite important over here, and I'll explain all of those, well, in this tutorial. We're going to start off in the tutorial mod package with a new package called key mapping, because, well, it's a key mapping, not a keybind, but even though we call it keybinds, it's fine. And this is going to be the mod key mappings class. There we go. This will, of course, have what exactly? A public static void register method over here, and we're going to call tutorial mod logger, actually, info registering mod key mappings for tutorial mod ID, exactly like that. Let's also call that method here, lest we forget, and that would be bad. Wait a second, hold on a minute. What? Do you think we were going to call this in the tutorial mod class? Of course not. Pay close attention over here, because key mappings are a purely client thing. It's purely client side, so we will need a new class that only does client things, rendering and key mappings and stuff like that. So in our tutorial mod package, we're going to make a new Java class called the tutorial mod client over here, which will implement the client mod initializer. Extremely important that we get this right. Let's hover over this to implement the uninitialized client method. And then, also super important, we want to go to our fabric mod JSON file, where we have the main class as an entry point right here, and we want to now add over here the client entry point, and this is going to be the tutorial mod client. Extremely important that we get this set up over here, otherwise it's not going to work. So pay close attention here, very, very important. And now the mod key mappings can now be called right here, mod key mappings.register, and we are good to go. Nice. Having the class, well, created, we can now register our key mapping. The way that this works is this is a public static final key mapping over here. We're going to call this the Kaupen Keybind, or Kaupen key mapping. I mean, it's like totally fine. Kaupen key mapping, and that's okay. Equal to the key mapping helper over here that register key mapping. And then this is just going to have a new key mapping. What does the key mapping consist of? Really not that crazy. The first thing is a string. This is the name key tutorial mod, or key.tutorial mod.kaupen underscore key. Then we have the input constant. We're going to use the key sysm, which is basically means this is going to be for a keyboard. Then we determine the standard key, or the default key, which is going to be glfw dot, and you can see glfw. Let's say, for example, we choose key E, and here we can just change this to whatever key you want. In our case, we're going to choose the K key over here, and then we're going to choose the category, in our case miscellaneous, but there's also creative debug, things like that. There you go. But when you do miscellaneous over here, that's going to be fine. There we go. And that is the Kaupen key mapping. Notice that basically the key mapping isn't really the key, you're determining an action. It's quite important to think about it like this, because obviously people can change the button from, K to whatever they want. This is why it's called the Kaupen key and not the K key, let's say, for example. Having created the key mapping, we have one final thing to do, and that is going to be going to the tutorial mod client class over here again, and we're going to make a public static void. We're going to call this the onEndTick method right here, and this is going to have Minecraft as its parameter, and this is going to be the Minecraft over here, which is the client, actually. Let's call it the client. Here we go. And inside, we can do either an if or a while loop. We're going to do a while loop over here, so we can hold down the key, and then it's going to continue to consume it. If you do an if statement, then it should only do it once. That's at least the way that I would interpret this, although I'm not actually 100% sure that that's how it works, but it should actually. Well, inside we're going to say mod key mappings.kaupen key mapping.consume click, and then we're going to say client.player.send system message. I'm going to just send a literal system message. I just pressed the Kaupen key, which is going to be default K. Isn't that crazy? crazy. Yes, it is. There we go. Also writing it correctly. This onEndTick method in the onInitialize client, we can now use the client tick events dot end client tick dot register, and then here we're going to call tutorial mod client onEndTick. Easy enough, and that is going to basically, this method is going to get called every tick, and while this is true, we are sending out a message. So if we're not clicking it, so if there's no consume click over here, then of course nothing is going to happen. Now if you are imagining, oh, I want like really cool things to happen, I want to double jump, I want to get 18 different status effects and make a spin and then spawn a cow on my key mapping, click over here, hold your horses or hold your cows, I guess, or hold your keys, because we are right here. We are on the client here, meaning that we can't do anything that's, well, server authoritative, meaning we can't spawn items, we can't spawn entities, we can't give ourselves status effects, anything like that does not work over here because, well, that only works by sending a packet from the client to the server, which we'll actually do in the next tutorial, but for the time being, let's go on to add the translation as well. Key tutorial mod Kaupen key should be more or less self-explanatory, and that is actually everything that we're going to need. It's really important once again that the tutorial mod client class is properly set as an entry point. Super important. Do not forget that. And now that you have everything, let's jump into the game and click if it works. All right, fans, I'm back in Minecraft, and let's just press the K key, and look at that. I just pressed the Kaupen key, and I can even hold it down, and it's going to continue to go. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that this should actually work both with the if statement and the while loop the same way, because the method is called every tick, so I don't see a reason why the if statement wouldn't do that. But regardless, let's go to the controls, keybinds, and we're just going to jump over the fact that the jump key is E, and we're looking at the Kaupen key right here with a K. And yes, if I put it to something else that already exists, then it will get an error. So let's just put it to Ö right here, and that also works. Absolutely fantastic. But of course, we want it back to our old key, which is K, done, done, and done. That's custom keybinds over here added to Minecraft. And that's gonna be it for this tutorial right here. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for all the support on Patreon and on YouTube. Don't forget, if you join as a Stonebricks member on YouTube, you can get up to 14 days of early access, including this video right here, where we'll also do networking, so our custom keybinds actually do something. Hope to see you there. So yeah.